They told me when starting a talk, it's good to break the ice with a short joke, but I don't know any short jokes. I hope you got that. Is this one there? Good. Olympic dream, the challenge. You can see there's no A or the there because it's kind of very general. I'm going to be talking about all of our dreams, all of our goals, and what I've learned from dreams I've had with the Olympics, dreams I've had of doing many things, and what I've learned from that. And I'm going to try and convey ideas that I've learned and see if you can learn something from that as well. We all have dreams, don't we? We all have goals. Especially in business, there's lots of targets we need to meet. There's a lot of things we want to have. There's a lot of things we want to achieve. And as you can see, we have to define possibilities. These goals that we have are possibilities. And by defining these possibilities through setting goals, planning, and then challenging ourselves and challenging our abilities, we can get to where we want to be. Now, a lot of things that I'm going to be saying you've probably heard before, a lot about how to set goals. Now, first of all, goals need to be specific. We all know that. What it is exactly that you want to do. What is it that you want to be? You've got to see where you want to be. It needs to be measurable so that you know what you're going to be doing. You know, you need to know, I've now reached my goal. It needs to be able to measure that. You need to be able to say, now I'm there, or now I'm not there. It needs to be achievable. Now, an achievable goal is something that a lot of people have trouble understanding. A lot of people are very over-enthusiastic and set goals way too far for themselves. But this is not a problem. If you set shorter goals leading up to that, you'll find out that you actually get there. But breaking it up into smaller chunks, like some of our people say, you know, how do you eat an elephant? Start with small bites. You know, little by little, you'll get there. Relevant. Now, I have had many goals in my life. I've had many disappointments in my life. I've done many things, a lot of proud of, some I've not. But most of them, the goals that I've achieved have always been relevant to me. They've always been set in a way so that I learned something from that, or that I feel that this is something that adds to me as a person. Now, a relevant goal is also, I'm not going to say I want to be I want to be a president of a country. It's not something that I would like to do, so it's not relevant to me as a person. But it might be for any of you. I wanted to be at the Olympics. I did one better. I got an Olympic medal. That was relevant for me because I was an athlete at that stage. In business life, we want to sell more into a certain market. But do you have are you doing business in that market? There's a relevant goal. Time bound. Of course it's time bound. You need to have a time frame in which you set these goals. For me, it's always been a yearly big major championships. So my goals are always set. I need to be at my best, and I want to have a certain minimum level of achievement at a certain date. Of course, Olympics is every 4 years. World Championships is every 2nd year. And then also European Championships in between, African Championships in between, National Championships in between. All of these have a time frame in there. So this is all all of this is not new. And of course, it all leads to you setting that possibility. Now I'm talking about a possibility, so that means that it's not something that is set as the ultimate, but it's a moving target. I hope you can all understand that. Because setting a goal is not always, you can reach the goal, yes, but is that then enough to stop? Does that stop you from achieving more? And of course there are factors, and we'll get to these factors later, that actually influence where this goal is going to be. Now, a goal can be as small as, I want to be a better person tomorrow than I was today. But the thing is that there needs to be growth, and there needs to be this will to be able to be better than you were before. If you want to be just the same, you're actually stagnating, because everybody else is getting better. Everybody else is growing. The rest of the world is getting better and faster and going towards certain goals. And if you stay on one level, relevantly, or in comparison, you're going to be stagnating. This was my program leading up to the Olympic Games in Sydney. As you can see, it's quite busy. It was a program for 52 weeks. I knew exactly what I was going to be doing every week in that year. So my goals were quite set, and I knew where I wanted to be. Of course, there were certain things that happened during that year, and we needed to adjust. No problem with that. But also, as you can see, that even there's a lot of components that combine, and knowing which of these components, how they combine, can lead to success. We actually tried to make some sense out of it and take it off the graph paper and put it on a computer program, and it doesn't really look much better. But knowing what it means and knowing what we gained out of that, we learned a lot from that. So we had a plan. We knew what to do. We knew when to do it. We knew how to do it. We just needed to do it. Now, setting these goals, like I said before, you define the possibilities. You're defining your life, or you're defining where you want to be. And of course, like a friend of mine said a long time ago, and it's something that's been with me all my life, is that who you are is not nearly as important as who you want to be. And only you can change that. So that means that there needs to be growth. There needs to be some kind of improvement every day. We all need to strive for being better, being a better person every day. So, the execution, like I said, now we knew what to do, now how to do it, or we need to do it. First of all, we needed to trust the process. Do I trust my coach? He made the plan. He said, this is what we're going to be doing. He feels this is what we need to do. Do I trust what he says? Do I trust the process that I need to do? Then we needed to take the first step. That was maybe the hardest thing. And I think in many cases, I think when you have a plan, when you have a goal, just getting over the doorstep. Whoop, that's the first thing that needs to happen, and maybe the most important thing for most people. Another thing with evaluating the process, we need to know every now and then, and this we did every 6 weeks. We had a test every 6 weeks to see where we were. In business, we do the same thing: quarterly results, quarterly reports, yearly reports. We know where we are, and we can then judge where we're going. And of course, if something is going the way very well, do we stick to the same goal, or do we adjust that goal? If we see we're never going to reach the goal, do we change that goal, or do we live in a kind of a situation where morale is down? How do we relate that? For me, the 52 weeks were quite hard. We had lots to do, and there were small things that needed attention all the time. As we went through the year, of course, I had 1 or 2 injuries, and we needed to adjust. But at the end of the day, we were able to, my goal was to get to the Olympics, and of course, we overshot that goal. So that is possible. But also, what is very important is to always be aware of what is around you. Always be aware of the the bigger picture. Many people also focus so much on the bigger picture that they lose focus of what they're doing today. I'm so concerned about this competition in 5 weeks' time or in 5 months' time, but I'm not training today. I'm not doing what I need to do today because I'm so focused on what's happening in 5 months down the line. Be always aware of what you're doing. But of course, before we can start doing, and like many people say these days, is that no plan is as good as its execution. We need to have certain prerequisites before we can start doing things. And these are things that are inherent to me, and these are things that I found out over a career of 25 years of knowing, getting to know myself and getting to know where I am in relation to programs that I've been doing for 25 years. And actually, by the way, I've had the same coach for 25 years, so that also helps. Of course, there needs to be a certain level of commitment towards a plan, towards a training program, towards a goal. How committed are you to reaching this goal? If there's a goal of reaching a certain sales number by the end of the month or by the end of the year, how committed are you really to getting there? Do you trust the process? Do you trust the plan that has been put there? Do I trust the training program? Do I know better? Do I know better? This is how I feel about this program, and this is how I feel that I'm going to go forward. I don't really like what the coach is saying at the moment. This is too hard. I don't want to do that. I'd rather do my own things. Do I trust his experience? Do I trust the plan that he's put down there? Do I trust myself? Do I trust my own abilities? Am I the guy? Do I have the abilities to be able to do what is required from me? Do I have the courage? I think that's a very big thing these days when people talk about setting goals and trying to achieve them. Many people start out, and I'm sure not many people finish. And it's usually not because of a lack of will, but a lack of courage. Sometimes you need to push yourself beyond where you feel comfortable to get what you really want. And I've had to do that many, many times, and that's why this is here. And this is something that I've learned over time to really do. Starting a career after a career took a lot of courage, but it was something that I needed to do, something that I wanted to do. I was really committed towards that. So, are you ready for the challenge? Everybody has a dream, I'm sure. So now you see it's not easy. Who thinks the challenge is easy? Who thinks reaching a goal is easy? If reaching a goal is easy, is it really worthwhile? Is it worth it then? So, how much passion do you have for reaching your goals? For doing what you do every day? Are you having fun? When I was competing, I was really having fun, a lot of fun. Of course, body gets old and it changes over time, but I started my first international competition was in 1993. It's more than 25 years ago, and I'm still going today. I even had a break in between. And why? Because I like it. It's fun. I love doing it, even though I do it as a hobby now. It's still a little bit not the best way of doing it, but I'm having fun, and that's why I'm doing it. I have a passion for something. Are you defined by what you do in search of this goal? It's a difficult question. This has very much to do with how you handle setbacks. As a discus thrower, I always believed that discus throwing was something I did, wasn't who I am, or wasn't who I was. Like I am at the moment still. So breaking that down, it means that if I take discus throwing out of my life is still complete. If I have a bad day at the office, if I have a bad day on the training field, do I take that home? Does that influence me as a person? No. I'm happy with what I'm doing. I have a lot of passion for what I'm doing. But something I'm trying to teach athletes that I am working with at the moment is to break the two away from each other. It's much easier to be able to go back to a happy place without thinking of disappointments or setbacks when you can actually, break away from that. Thank you very much.